Good evening, everyone. The 25th of March. Welcome to spring. I'm wearing my official spring shirt, my polka dots, and I'm so excited to be here with all of you. Today we have a very exciting meeting, and we have a really great prize. We're giving away two full sets of LLV. So two full sets of LLV. That's the complete box. They just arrived, and I sent them out to Singapore so that they're ready for you all for you to win your prizes. And if someone in the U.S. wins, then we have an extra LLV ready for you right here. But I know the majority of the people on this call are from Southeast Asia. So if you're joining us from Vietnam or Singapore or Malaysia or from Indonesia or the Philippines, welcome. If you're joining us from Europe, good afternoon. And if you're joining us from the United States, good morning. So if you were privileged enough and lucky enough to be able to go to the leadership conference in the U.S., you know that that doTERRA is making a really big push now for lifelong vitality. It is our #1 selling product. And by volume, and which is an amazing statistic, but I think, and has been for many, many years. But what I like about LLV is that it consistently delivers results, and that the company is looking at all of the aspects and all of the ingredients that are contained in LLV to make sure that it is bioavailable to us and doing the things that it's supposed to be doing. And in our modern world, where we're under a lot of stress all the time, it is something that you really want to consider. Even if you are a person who consistently tries to eat a healthy diet, I'm one of those people, but I do know that I'm always lacking in certain nutrients. I can't get away from it. So I want to make sure that you're getting all the nutrients, the vitamins and the minerals that you need. So I'm going to get started right away. Let me share my screen with you. Okay, let me shrink. Oops. Okay, here we are. So as I said before, I'm Elena Jordan. If you haven't had a chance to meet me, I hope I get a chance to meet you really soon. One of the things that we love about this call is that we get to see each other face to face, and I can see who's on and who's coming up, and I see the new faces. I try to do a scan through all the names and make sure that I know everybody. But if I'm in your area, or if you come to the United States, please come and see me. I want to see your beautiful shining face. So the first thing I want to do is make sure that you understand that today we're talking about lifelong vitality. And lifelong vitality is our wellness supplement. It's the 3 bottles, and I'm going to talk about each one individually and why they're important. And this is kind of a new perspective. And the new perspective is that while it has been around for a while, I think there's enough new evidence and new information that it bears taking a second look. I want to say thank you to all our Presidential Diamond team. The person who invited you to this call is very, very special because they cared about you enough to make sure that you got to this call. And I want to feel that there's beauty in friendship, and that's where we are now. We're in a safe space where there's a lot of friends on this call. And if you have a question or you want to talk to someone at the end of the call, obviously, please direct message me, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. Let's talk first about the Lifelong Vitality Program. The goal of the LLV is to look, feel, and live younger for longer. So there are many ways that people assess how they are feeling younger, and we're going to talk about that. That's actually the first thing, and we're talking about the 3 supplements from left to right: the XC Omega, the Microplex VMZ, and the Alpha CRS. And here's the cool thing: you're actually going to find out today what exactly all those letters mean if you didn't know. And I have to say, I knew a lot of them, but I didn't know them all. Okay, so how do we measure wellness? There's a lot of ways, of course, to measure wellness. Some people measure by how they look and feel. Others define their health by numbers like cholesterol levels or weight. And truthfully, being healthy is measured by a combination of many objective and subjective elements, including things like energy levels, exercise habits, diet, stress levels, exposure to toxins, and simply how we feel. Many of these elements are easily measured in quantitative form, things like blood pressure or body mass index. And other things are more subjective and difficult to access, like emotional health or energy levels. And I know sometimes I talk to someone and they'll say, I went to the doctor and he said, I'm fine, but I just don't feel great. And obviously your own body is telling you how you are, perhaps, and it could be an emotional or a physical issue that's troubling you, but make sure that you continue to pursue good health, whether the measures are subjective or objective. So while you're a by the numbers person, or you tend to judge your wellness by how well your body looks and feels, it's important to be informed about how your body is functioning and areas where you can improve, and some practices, and we're going to learn those in a minute, about how you can help to maintain your own good health. So let's talk first about risk factors. So risk factors, when we talk about individual health status, there are several factors beyond our control that can influence how we feel or the conditions and diseases we are prone to. Our family medical history, our predisposition to diseases, and our individual DNA are things we're born with, and honestly, we cannot change. You cannot change your DNA, folks. However, we may be able to eventually. I don't know, science is moving so fast, but right now those are things we cannot change. There are countless, however, things in our elements of our overall health that we can change, including our diet, exercise habits, stress levels, sleep patterns, and more. So even if we have a family history or predisposition for a problem, there are actions we can take to lower our risk and certain health issues. And I've heard it said, maybe you've heard me say this here, that genetics loads the gun. And I know a gun is a very American an image. So genetics loads the gun, but our lifestyle pulls the trigger. So you can be handed a whole set of genes that maybe aren't the best. And if you live a healthy life, you have the opportunity to perhaps not express any of those problems. But if you live a lifestyle that is unhealthy, you are more likely to be predisposed to those conditions and then have them express themselves in you. Okay, let's talk about obstacles that impede wellness in our modern society. So in addition, of course, to our personal risk factors, both in and out of our control, we face an onslaught of challenges to our health simply because of the world we live in. In our modern society, high-stress jobs, jam-packed schedules that leave little time for exercise and quality sleep have become the norm. We have endless access to processed foods and are accustomed to a diet that lacks many of the important nutrients our bodies need for good health. The products that we use can increase our exposure to toxins and further endanger our health. As mentioned before, our health status is based on many different factors, some of which we can control and others we cannot. But living in today's world presents extra challenges from maintaining a healthy lifestyle. And the ones that are listed here are just a few. Things like, as I said, high stress levels, lack of exercise, quality sleep, nutrient deficiencies, and exposure to toxins. Now, I'm going to try to talk to them, each one of them, more or less one by one. Let's start with nutrient deficiencies. So, as you know, what we eat has a major impact on our health status, our weight, and how we feel overall. The typical diet in our modern world is full of highly processed food, lacking in nutrients. Our specific food requirements also depend on our factors like our age, our gender, how much we exercise, and other personal health circumstances like maybe pregnancy or serious health concerns. The amounts and types of nutrients that an individual needs can vary from person to person, and most of us are most likely not reaching our daily requirements for a number of vitamins and minerals, which is what this chart is showing here. So this particular chart is showing, well, let's talk a little bit about nutrient deficiencies. So each gender and age group has a certain set of general nutritional requirements that will help them to stay healthy. And that's that in so you can see the two columns on the left. We're seeing the vitamin or mineral specified in the list and the percentage of dietary intakes below the EAR. And that does not mean the ear. It's actually an acronym. And the EAR is the estimated average requirement, the estimated average requirement. So the estimated and average requirement in adults over the age of 19. Now, I've said to you many times, you always have to look at the size of your child. So for example, my daughter is just now 19, but she's very petite. So for her, I might actually give her a smaller dose of vitamins and minerals just because of her size and weight. And she's always been petite. She's never been large. She had a little time when she was in middle school where she got a little bit chubby, but other than that, she's never been super big. My son, on the other hand, has always been super big. He's always been in the 99th percentile or 95th percentile for height and weight. And even now at 17, he is a big boy. And so for him, even though he's 17, I would easily give him the nutrients that are required for a fully formed adult. Now, while his chronological age is slightly below 19th because of his size and weight, he can absolutely sustain the same nutritional requirements as a fully formed adult. But what this chart is telling us is how many adults actually have nutrient deficiencies in these specific elements. So look at vitamin D. 95% of adults over the age of 19 are vitamin D deficient. That's really scary. You know, you want to make sure that vitamin D especially is one of those vitamins that's a little bit hard to get, and we're going to talk about vitamin D in a minute. Vitamin E, another one, super deficient as a culture. Magnesium, vitamin A, calcium, and vitamin C. Vitamin C, as we know, comes from our citrus fruits, the fruit, not the peel. So if you're using citrus oils, you're not getting vitamin C. You really have to get vitamin C from other sources. Also, green vegetables, a wonderful source of vitamin C. Okay, so what happens when our daily nutrient requirements are not met? And that's a challenge. If we think that our daily diet does not have certain serious bearing on how our body functions and feels, it's important to note that it is possible to have negative effects on the body by not meeting your daily nutrients. And I'm kind of saying that in a double negative, although I don't mean to. What happens is obviously more serious issues can arise. Existing conditions can worsen. Unpleasant problems, including weak bones, cardiovascular problems can result, and your body is deprived of vitamins and minerals that could be used to help it with proper functioning. So what's the solution? I think for me, at least, the solution is supplementation, and that's where LLV comes in. So why do we supplement? We supplement to promote overall wellness, to make up for nutritional deficiencies, to address personal health issues, to maintain good health during the aging process, and combined with a healthy lifestyle, healthy eating, healthy exercise, we wind up with a healthy body in general. Now, how do we cultivate a healthy lifestyle? And this can be tricky and it can be different for every person, but we want to think about eating healthy eating practices. So eliminating junk food, eliminating sweets, or reducing them as much as we possibly can. I've talked honestly here about my addiction to bubble tea. All you bubble tea people, you know what I'm talking about. And I think we all have our Achilles heel, if you will, whether it's too much bread and butter, perhaps, or maybe too much alcohol, or maybe too many chocolates. We all have something that we tend to gravitate towards, which is probably not the most healthy. I see a real rise in the United States of artificially sweetened beverages, and they're being touted as being, quote unquote, more healthy, whereas reality, they are not healthy at all. You want to drink pure, clean water, maybe add some essential oils to them, but you want to make sure that you're staying away from the latest fad in terms of food. You want to make sure that you're getting regular exercise, and your daily health habits are things like sleep, as we mentioned before, and then finally, healthy supplementation. Okay, so now let's jump right into lifelong vitality. There are some factors, of course, as we mentioned before, that regarding our health, like our genetic predisposition, that really are out of control, but there are plenty of things that we can do to help us look and feel our best. As we age, it becomes a little bit more challenging to care for our bodies because we may have more problems to deal with. I always look at my mom, who's 88 years old, and I have to say, in general, she's in pretty good health. She takes a few medications on a regular basis, but in general, she's fairly healthy. And I have to say that my mom has been one of those people who has used supplements from a young age, from about the age of 30 or so when she was a young working woman. I didn't really know her at age 25, or if I did, I was a baby and I wasn't aware of what she was taking. But from about the age of 30 or so, she has been a lifelong supplement taker. And I want to believe that taking those supplements has helped her in general to stay as healthy as she is. And LLV, as you can see, is designed to promote health, energy, and longevity. What are some of the benefits of LLV? We want to talk about specifically antioxidant support. Cellular health plays a major role in living a long, healthy life, and healthy cells are threatened by molecules known as free radicals. We're going to talk about more about free radicals in a minute. They are known to damage healthy, functioning cells and speed up the aging process. Lifelong Vitality can help us with immune support, energy, nutrition, of course, and it contains safe, effective ingredients. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about price before we move on to what free radicals are and so on. So price comparison. When we talk about doTERRA Lifelong Vitality Pack, we're talking about a cost. These are in US dollars, of course. I know not everybody's paying in US dollars. $79.50 per month with a PV of 60. And the equivalent in benefits and ingredients, $200 to $300. And I'll attest to this. I was one of those people who bought my supplements individually at one time, going to different health food stores and different places, and you could easily spend $200 to $300 on some of the things that doTERRA provides at a very reasonable cost. So remember how I was talking about dissecting what the names mean? Alpha CRS Plus. Alpha is a word that means first. CRS is an acronym for Cellular Renewal System. I don't know how many of you knew that. Maybe you want to tell me in the chat if you knew that. And you want to add, and the plus is added to emphasize improvements that were made from the original product. So there was an original product and it has been updated. So the plus are all the things that go into Alpha CRS. Okay, so the purpose of Alpha CRS is to provide the body with antioxidants and to promote vitality and improved energy levels and also DNA protection. As you can see here in the cell, what happens is if an antioxidant is actually able to come into the cell, its electron can move into a free spot on a free radical, thereby breaking up the free radical and allowing us to excrete it, which is why we want to make sure when we're taking any of our vitamins and supplements that we're taking tons of water. You must be drinking water on a regular basis. I would assume if you're taking Alpha CRS or any of the other supplements, LLV, you're drinking these down with water and not with coffee or tea. Tea is okay if it's herbal, but don't drink these things down with water, or smoothies. Try to take it down with pure, fresh water that you can basically flush things out of your system. So free radicals actually are unstable molecules that cause damage and even destroy healthy cells, speeding the aging process. They enter the body by way of breathing, the metabolism of food, pollution, sun and radiation exposure, and smoking. So secondhand smoke, obviously we're breathing that in. If it's coming in through our skin, because our skin is the largest organ of our body, and also, of course, by the foods that we eat. So that's how we actually have free radicals entering our body. Antioxidants are stable molecules that are known to neutralize free radicals. So that's what this is doing here. It's jumping onto the free radical and neutralizing it and allowing it to be excreted. They can come from food like fruits and vegetables and can even be manufactured by the body itself. So the body does have some antioxidant capability, but it needs a little bit more support. And polyphenols are a powerful group of antioxidants that are known to protect cells against free radical damage. And Alpha CRS includes polyphenols. So the Alpha CRS ingredients, and if you want to take a photograph of this, I'm go right ahead. Please do so. Our Boswellia serrata, which you know has come from frankincense, bicalin, milk thistle, resveratrol, green tea leaf, pomegranate, pineapple, turmeric, grapeseed, sesame seed, and pine bark. Now, it doesn't mean that these exact ingredients are ground up. So they don't take a whole pineapple and grind it up and put it into the capsule, folks. I don't want you to get confused. What they do is extract part of the plant or the fruit, and that's what goes into the alpha CRS. So by no means should you be thinking that all these things, the pine bark, is being ground up and put into your alpha CRS. They are extracting different ingredients from these plant materials. And isn't it beautiful that we have the ability to not only to extract these plant materials, but they're even here on earth to help us. That for me, that's a reinforcement that there is a God, that we were placed in this place with all these beautiful plants to be able to help us and keep us healthy. The benefits of alpha CRS are that it supports a healthy cell function by protecting cellular DNA. It promotes cellular energy by supporting healthy mitochondria, supports healthy cellular immune function, and supports mental clarity and brain function. And actually, I'm going to go back 1 minute to that last slide, because I have a little bit of information here that I forgot to tell you about some of these ingredients. So when you look at these ingredients, from the turmeric, we're actually getting from the turmeric, we're getting curcumin, which is an antioxidant, as you know. From the Boswellia serrata, we're getting boswellic acids. From that plant that says resveratrol at the top is actually a plant called Polygonum cuspidatum, which is interesting. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that we also get resveratrol from some grapes. And I don't see the other one here, from grape. I know we get some of the ingredients from grape seed. And needless to say, what I'm trying to emphasize is that the products are derived from these plants. Okay, let's keep going on. We're supporting, I need my alpha CRS because I would need to support my mental clarity and brain function. So our boswellic acid supports healthy cellular function. The coenzyme Q10, which is contained there, is a blend of metabolic factors of cellular energy, help promote vitality. The botanical extract of ginkgo biloba supports mental clarity and energy. And the tummy tamer blend of botanical extracts helps prevent stomach upset. Have you ever taken a supplement and you have that kind of glub, glub, glub feeling in your stomach and you think, oh my, this is not agreeing with me? That's why the tummy tamers are in these products. I want to make sure that you're taking them with food as opposed to just on an empty stomach. But there are elements that are contained in there that will help you with digestion and stomach upset. I'm trying to look for a list of what the exact list of tummy tamers are, but I think I'll find that as I go on. Okay, let's talk about XE-omega. So the X stands for astaxanthin, a standardized extract of microalgae used in the XE-omega formula. EO stands for essential oil, because there are a lot of essential oils in this particular product. And mega represents the omega benefits provided by this complex. So some fatty acids, this is a complex that contains a lot of fatty acids. And some fatty acids are produced naturally inside the body, but fatty acids cannot be produced within the body and must be obtained through the diet. Well, there are several types of essential fatty acids. The most common are omega-6 and omega-3. And it's possible to provide the body with these essential fatty acids through the food we eat, but the typical modern diet contains too much omega-6 and not omega-3s. And omega-6 come from things like vegetable oils and hydrogenated or trans fats. We do need a few omega-6 to provide our body with essential nutrients, but consuming too many of them actually has been linked to poor health. There's scientific evidence to suggest that increasing dietary intake of omega-3 fatty acids can provide health benefits. And studies have shown that some of these health benefits include positive effects on cardiovascular health, brain function, immune function, joint health, mobility, and the skin. Okay, so we are, as you can see here, what XE Omega provides us with are omega-3s, omega-6s, and omega-9s in balance so that we're able to absorb them. To maintain a healthy body, it's important to have a balance between these three, and increasing dietary intake of foods that are high in omega-6 actually means we have to take more omega-3 to bring our body back into balance. So omega-3s traditionally come from fatty fish, canola and olive oil, and nuts, and some nuts and seeds. And this, what XE Omega does is basically bring the body back into balance. So our XE Omega includes marine and plant omega, omega blend, natural vitamins D and E, and astaxanthin, which is excellent for the eyes. The marine and plant omega blend is pure fish and echium seed oils, providing EPA, DHA, ALA, SDA, and GLA fatty acids. And it's honestly, it's not important to know all of those acronyms, but just to know that if someone asks you, well, what are the ingredients that are in there? And you can see EPA and DHA right here on the screen, that all of the different elements that we need to maintain a healthy body are in there. And the natural vitamins D and E include 800 IUs of natural vitamin D and 60 of natural vitamin E. And both play a very important role in bone health and growth, and can help promote healthy immune function as well as healthy response to cellular stress. I want to talk specifically to ladies out there. As we age, ladies, we have to make sure that we're getting enough vitamin D, and because we tend to not get enough. And also our bones can become brittle if we don't protect them. Some of that can be done through strength training exercises. So if you're a person who in general not only is doing cardiovascular exercise, but actually lifting weights or lifting your own body weight, whether that's through push-ups or planks or sit-ups, you will be building bone and muscle. But you want to make sure that you're doing that on a regular basis so that you are getting the benefits of bone protection. And the astaxanthin, as I mentioned, is a powerful antioxidant and carotenoid harvested from microalgae. Astaxanthin is combined with the vitamin E, we see our little vitamin E there on the upper left, to provide circulatory and systemic benefits as well as powerful antioxidants. So our EPA and DHA come from microfilter marine lipids. And I think some of our concerns about omegas in the past have been that they were coming from large fish that might actually contain mercury. And while many of us still continue to eat fish, you want to make sure that you're eating mercury-containing fish, or fish more likely to contain mercury, less frequently, and taking your omegas every single day. This particular blend also contains echium seed oil, which is a plant-based omega-3, and pomegranate seed oil, which, as we know, is in our yarrow palm. The essential oil blend contains clove, frankincense, thyme, cumin, wild orange, peppermint, ginger, and German chamomile. Okay, so here are your benefits, and I know this is kind of a busy slide, but I want you to take a good look at it. Brain development, immune function, heart and circulatory health, joint health, muscle activity, and cell growth. And honestly, I feel like this is one of your most important supplements, because it also, when it says there, brain development, it also means protection for your brain. If you are a person who suffers from depression or low moods, or a person who in general struggles perhaps with not feeling good on a regular basis, emotionally not good, you want to make sure that you're getting enough omegas. Omegas have been shown in studies at Harvard University to be the key, if you will, to increased mood and mood boosting and also brain function. In studies at Harvard, up to 10 milligrams of omegas were given to actually boost mood, and we can post something about that study in the comments or when we post it on Facebook. So we see here heart and circulatory health, healthy joint function, immune boosting, healthy function of the brain, eyes, and nervous system, healthy skin, providing antioxidants, and many of these things I've already mentioned. Omega-3s from marine and plant sources. Well, I know this is not for vegetarians, and we're going to talk about the vegetarian version in a minute. Astaxanthin to provide the body with antioxidants for systemic and circulatory benefits. And finally, natural sources of D and E. So this supplement, in my opinion, is the granddaddy of the three of them. Okay, so here's your vegan version. Now, how does it vary from our XE Omega? And you see the V in front of the EO, meaning that it's a vegan version. Oh, here. Okay, so your vegan version excludes the marine omega blend using the XO Omega. It does include, instead of using a blend of fish oils, it uses plant and algae-based sources to provide a unique blend of essential fatty acids. Slightly different ingredients, as you can imagine, but still allows you to obtain the essential fatty and omega benefits. And things included in here are flaxseed oil, Inca or Inchi seed oil, borage, cranberry, pomegranate, pumpkin seed, and grape seed oils, and still includes vitamin D and E and pure astaxanthin and other carotenoids, and of course the essential oils. Okay, last but not least, Microplex VMZ. How are we doing here? I think we're doing pretty well. Yes, okay. Microplex VMZ, the microplex is a combination of the words micronutrient and complex. VM stands for vitamins and minerals, so that's easy. If you're at all confused, this is your vitamin and mineral supplement. And Z represents improvements made to the original product. So again, something that's been updated and something that the company is looking at from time to time to make sure that it's current. Okay, the purpose of Microplex VMZ is to provide essential vitamins and minerals to keep the body functioning in a healthy manner. And it has vitamins and minerals that we might not be getting in our diet. And as you look at that little diagram there, there's so many different vitamins and minerals that we need to keep our body healthy. Things like A, C, E, and B. It also aims to give the body's minerals like calcium, magnesium, zinc, which can help promote bone and metabolic health. And we saw on that chart the estimated average requirements that more than 90% of American adults aren't reaching their daily requirements for vitamin E. And roughly half of Americans are not fulfilling their nutrient requirements for magnesium, vitamin A, calcium, and vitamin C. And this is not just an American problem, folks. This is a worldwide problem. Diets have been changing from traditional diets, whether they be Mediterranean diets or diets in Asia or other parts of the world, to a more processed, less nutrient dense food selections. And that's why we really, whether we live in the United States or some other place, we need to begin to think about supplementation. These specific ingredients, things like peppermint, ginger, and fennel, are added for the tummy tamer with a balanced blend of essential oils and vitamins. So you may not know this, but they're actually enzymes to aid in digestion and help with the absorption of nutrients: protease, lactase, lipase, amylase, alpha galactose, and peptidase. It is a balanced blend of essential vitamins, A, C, and E, energy complex with B, and natural available vitamin D, and also calcium, iron, iodine, magnesium, zinc, selenium. Really too many vitamins and minerals to list here, but I like the fact that the vitamins and minerals are balanced with, again, essential oils and a tummy tamer botanical blend. that the company is always thinking about. If we add in all these ingredients, how is it going to affect the person? How are they going to interact together? And you know that the 3 supplements are meant to be taken together. I'm not advocating that you pull them out and take them individually. You do know also that they're available in packets, pre-measured packets that you can take, in addition to the box that we're going to show at the end. So last thing I want to mention is all 3 capsules are actually sodium lauryl sulfate free vegetable capsules, and they do not contain any genetically modified material. And that's important to note because many of the capsules that you purchase, even in health food stores, can contain sodium lauryl sulfate, which is a toxic agent. Some of the benefits: digestive health, immune health, bone health, cellular and metabolic health. And I'm not going to read this whole list here. If you want to take a photograph of it, that's fine. But just suffice it to say that with the 22 essential vitamins and minerals and the vitamins A, C, and E, we're fighting free radicals. We are supporting our normal growth and function and maintenance of cells. We're supporting our healthy metabolism, bone health, immune function, healthy digestion, and on and on. But I do love this slide because I think even though it's a little wordy, it gives us a good quick view with digestive health, immune health, and bone health of what exactly we're supporting with this vitamin. Okay, we also have a vegan Microplex VMZ. Offers the same benefits as the original, but is sourced from vegan-friendly sources. Includes vitamins and minerals found in the original complex, the Tummy Tamer blend, and doesn't contain any genetically modified ingredients. Okay, so how do we incorporate the LLV into your daily life? You want to combine supplements with the doTERRA wellness philosophy of healthy eating, exercise, rest and stress management, reducing toxins, and informed self-care. Many of you have heard me on this webinar talk about healthy eating. We've definitely talked about exercise. We've talked about weight loss. We've talked about sleep. We've talked about reducing toxins. So this is just adding into the mix of a healthy lifestyle. And if you're beginning to think to yourself, well, I have been taking LLV and I haven't taken it for a while, or I never tried that LLV, I'm going to challenge you to try to take it now. Go back to your cabinet, open up your LLV, start taking it again, and see how you feel. I think you really will feel the difference. You want to make sure that you're taking the proper dosage, of course. You want to look at shelf life a little bit. So I'm encouraging you to go back into your cabinet if you have LLV in there and start taking it. But what if it's more than 2 years old? Flip the bottle over, and on the bottom there will be an expiration date. Make sure that you're honoring the expiration. You want to make sure that you're storing it in a place that's not too warm or not too cold. Basically a cool, dark, dry place. A kitchen cabinet, as long as it's not right over the stove, should be just fine. And to extend the shelf life, if you wish, or maximize the potency specifically of the omega-3, you can put those in the refrigerator if you wish. And here's our LLV 30-day challenge. I'm going to challenge you to take your LLV and experience the benefits of the program. Consider trying it for 30 days, and let's see how you feel. If for whatever reason you are not satisfied, if you purchase it for the first time and you're not satisfied, you know that comes with a full money back guarantee. But I think it's going to be something that's going to change the way you feel. Okay, questions. We are not talking about children's supplements today. You do know that we do have a full line of children's supplements. We have the doTERRA A to Z Chewable and IQ Mega, and we also have the Kids Probiotic, but that's not our focus for today. We're going to talk, or we have talked about it on another day. Any questions, please add them to the chat. And remember, you are amazing. Today is going to be a beautiful day. And wherever you are, please get out in nature today. Try to see something lovely, whether it's a tree or a bush or a flower. I yesterday was able to sit outdoors for about 25 minutes with a jacket on, but I was still outdoors. And I just love that sense of beauty and fresh air. It was so wonderful, and I'm so happy to see spring coming. And don't get me wrong, I still love all the seasons, but spring is like that feeling of rebirth. It's so magical for me, and I'm so glad that I get to see it every year. And finally, thank you for being here, and have a wonderful week. Okay, I see we have a lot of questions in the chat, and I'm going to get to those right away. Hold on. I'm going to stop the share.